welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I thought I'd do a story on one of the Ford cars. Should we say one car that Ford made that I've got a huge obsession about when I was a child, and it'd be an ultimate dream car now. In 1986, when I was born, Group B rallying was at its a huge, massive, big spectacle, and it was at its biggest point. And at that time, one car was designed and made, and it was the Ford RS200. I never got a chance to see it in competition form, actually, like rallying, because I'd only just been born at the time. But from what I've heard, Group B rallying was absolutely crazy, and from all the YouTube clips and that I've seen of Group B rallying, and all the videos I had and DVDs of Group B rallying, it looked awesome, absolutely awesome. 10 times better than what the WRC is now. So anyway, last month at one of the Oval Owners meets, I got to actually meet my all-time dream car, shall we say, which is the Ford RS200. Since a young child, I've had a huge, shall we say, obsession with the Ford RS200. My mum and dad bought me a small Matchbox version of it when I was a young child. It was one of my first ever Matchbox cars I ever was bought, and I still have it to this day. It is here, this little blue one here. I still have it to this day, and it was one of my favourite toys I ever played with. And I think that's one of the things that made me like be into Fords years ago, you know what I mean? So when I was a young child, I actually always thought that the RS200 had the 2-litre Cosworth block, the YBT, shall we say, Cosworth block, with the red cam cover on, but it never. It had a 1.8 BDT engine. It was actually a derivative of the BDG engine. In standard form, the road going version, the first version that they ever brought out, had 250 brake to 350 brake. I think on road go version they were 250 brake, and in competition form they were 350 brake. At a later date they made an Evolution model, and that had up to 700 horsepower at the time, and that was the car that did I think it was 0 to 60 in like 2.8 seconds or something crazy like that. When I was younger, my mum and dad bought me a Jeremy Clarkson VHS video, shall we say, and this clip I'm going to show you now is what made me mad about the RS200 at the time.
This Ford RS200 once went from 0 to 100, then back to 0 again in 12.6 seconds. It was a world record. But then the owner decided he wanted to go a little bit more quickly. So he changed the engine management system and he fitted a much bigger turbo. The end result is 703 brake horsepower and power like you simply wouldn't believe. This acceleration is absolutely mind-blowing. Still an RS200, the brakes are appalling. And that gearbox, they said it was like a tractor's, but that's being unfair to tractors, really. And I can never lose sight of the fact that... Now, I think there are three reasons why that accident happened. Firstly, the RS200 has a very primitive 50-50 torque split. Secondly, it has a very short wheelbase. And thirdly, and I think most importantly, it was my fault.
So for the RS200, Ford made 200 road-going versions to sell. 5 of them were sold in the USA. I was shocked when I found out that Ford actually didn't make the RS200. It was parted out to Reliant, and they made it, because they were into fiberglass built cars. Yeah, the same people that made the Reliant Robin, which is crazy. Some of the parts that we used were off Ford Sierras and stuff like that. So it ran the Ford Sierra for windscreen, some of the switchgear, the rear lights, etc. And a lot of the Ford parts bin was used to build the RS200. Some facts about the RS200 is the way the engine was in the rear and the gearbox was in the front. It's exactly the same as the new Nissan GTR. Driving backwards was an RS200, driving forwards, which is strange, isn't it? You know what I mean? How mad's that when you think about that, like? And that was in 1986 was when they made that, and that was like one of the things that Ford come up with. They put the gearbox in the front for the best weight distribution, you know what I mean, to make it to the ultimate rally car. What's mad about it is, like, everyone's mad about the RS200, saying it was a great car and an awesome, you know what I mean, it's like one of the, like, should we say, one of the most famous Ford cars ever made. But it actually didn't really win any competitions and wasn't actually a great Group B rally car at the time. It ran for a full year until Group B was cancelled after a couple of horrific crashes and people getting killed. So, and at its greatest time, I think the best thing it ever won was third place on 1986 Rally of Sweden. Was the best ever result the RS200 had in Group B rallying. What I find mad about the RS200 is, as you'll see from the videos, is it's literally a two-seater space frame car with a fiberglass body over the top. Most of the people who built Group B cars at the time were actually full road-going cars, just with crazy engines. Ford went out their way to build, like, should we say, a one-off rally car to beat all the other companies who were competing in Group B. It had twin shocks at each corner, wishbone suspension, the 1.8 BDT engine. It was crazy, literally crazy. It had the gearbox in the rear, and the engine in the rear, gearbox in the front, and it was Ford's answer to the ultimate rally car. The Evolution models had from 550 brake horsepower to 815 brake horsepower, and the Evolution model is the model that smashed the 0 to 60 record at a little over 2 seconds. All the Evolution models, most of them are rallied in Rallycross, because when they came out, Group B had finished at the time, or they've done hill climbs, Pikes Peak, etc. like that. I think this obsession is what's made me have my Mark II Escort and my Escort Cosworth. You know what I mean? If I could sell them all and buy an RS200, I would. You know what I mean? But as I say, what are we looking at? The cheapest one now? Maybe £250,000, something like that. And that's way off a normal working class man's wage, you know what I mean? But we can all dream, can't we? And we can all have dream cars. This is just one of them, you know what I mean? If I had a garage with 5 dream cars, and the RS200 would be one of the dream cars that would be in my garage. Anyway guys, hope you liked the video. I just thought I'd give you a little video. It was amazing meeting my dream car at the Oval Owners car meet, and I'd love to do a video on one in the future, and I might try and look into that. Try and speak to a couple of owners and see if I can get to do a bit of a close-up video, even if we get some startup footage and stuff of one. That'd be awesome, like. But hope you liked the video. Give us a like and give us a subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters.